So a couple videos ago, I talked about how Prison School was the first anime I had ever watched from start to finish. Prison School was my first real anime experience, and it turned me into the absolute freak I've become today. I have not rewatched a full anime since back in the day, but going through the funny moments and short clips I see every now and again, I felt inspired. The anime only got one season, but the manga is complete. So I decided I would read the entire manga to fully immerse myself in the product that turned me into Cosmo the Horn Dog. But turns out, that shit is ass. The finale of Prison School is considered by many to be one of the most disappointing endings for a manga with such high popularity. The ending was so poorly received that many people believe the author, Akira Hiramoto, makes ass endings on purpose just to fuck with people. And I'm not gonna lie, that kinda turned me off from the idea of reading through. However, right before Prison School's end, Hiramoto announced he would be starting a new manga, Raw Hero. From the cover alone, you could already tell that Hiramoto was about to do what he does best. Many know Prison School for its outlandish comedy, but what brings it all together is the god tier art. Arguably some of the best art in the manga industry. Not only is it beautifully realistic while maintaining the anime style, but bro loves ass. He is undoubtedly one of the greatest lewd artists in manga history. So Raw Hero had a lot going for it. But after the backlash of the Prison School ending, Hiramoto's reputation was cooked, which led to Raw Hero being cancelled, allegedly, and only getting a whopping 41 chapters. So as a Hall of Fame degenerate, I felt the need to examine Raw Hero before anything else, because pussy. But as I finished the manga, I realized I had just read one of the most bizarre, unhinged dumpster fires ever put to paper. Raw Hero is fucked up. It takes place in a world of superheroes, filled with espionage, comedy, and gawk. The main character of Raw Hero is a dude who becomes a femboy for the sake of that bag. But as this is a Hiramoto production, this does not stop the fan service. Dick shots, gooch frames, you name it, it's in here. This manga is insanity incarnate, but daggum does the ecchi keep you locked in. And I don't want to see no ayos in the comments. A bad bitch is a bad bitch. But Raw Hero is so much more than bussy and boobs. There's a genuinely compelling story hidden underneath all the tomfoolery that sadly never gets to reach its peak due to getting canceled. Allegedly. But for every good moment Raw Hero has, two fucked up ones take its place. This tale of a spy in the world of superheroes is blanketed in some rather, unsavory moments, because Raw Hero is fucking weird. Lots of mangas have training arcs, but what other mangas do you know that have training arcs for throat power-ups? Mans was training his chug muscles religiously. He want the whole freak in his esophagus. The story starts us off with Chiaki, a young man with the stress of taking care of his two younger brothers after the death of their father. For months now, Chiaki has been on the hunt for jobs, but nothing seems to pan out. Although young, his brothers have started to realize that their living situation is taking a turn for the worst. However, Chiaki reassures him that his interview today will result in success. On the train ride to this said interview, Chiaki's worries are taking over his mind as he wonders how he's going to put food on the table for his family. But in the corner of his eye, he witnesses a middle-aged man getting freaky deaky with a younger woman. He knows this nigga is up to no good, but with so much on the line for his family's survival, Chiaki can't risk helping out and missing the interview. But his moral code gets the better of him, and he makes the choice to step in, exposing the old man for giving this girl the Don Hung special. Chiaki tells the fuck nigga to get off the train and talk to the police, but it turns out that the old man and younger girl are actually a couple engaging in public fingering fiascos. Chiaki can't believe it. He sacrificed his interview for what he believed was the greater good, only for it to be two freak-ass niggas being horned up consensual. Bro is devastated. His family's life is on the line, and he just put them further in the hole. However, the old man is feeling apologetic and offers Chiaki a job on the spot. This old man is actually the chief of the National Justice Department that specializes in the world of superheroes. That's when a superhero landing takes place before his very eyes. Chiaki and the chief head to a coffee shop to discuss the job further, now accompanied by one of the top heroes in the country. Chiaki is now forced to believe the chief's legitimacy. They want him to become a spy. His sense of justice and swift thinking allow him to act quickly, but Brody refuses the offer because the chief is still knuckle deep in cooch as the conversation takes place. Chiaki goes home, only to tell his brothers that he's failed once again. But after seeing his baby brother in tears from the pain of poverty, he decides that working for the chief might be his best and final option right now. Chiaki and the chief meet up once more to make it official. My mans is now a spy. His goal is to infiltrate the villain association known as South. This is a world where more and more people are born with powers every day, and those who choose not to align with the government are considered a threat. So while they aren't truly villains, for the sake of making it understandable, I'll just call them that for now. Chiaki is sent to the train station with the key to open a specific locker. The contents of this locker are meant to help Brody pass the interview to join up with the villains. But when he opens the suitcase, all he finds is a lewd cosplay along with the character sheet describing the outfit. Shirasawa Amane, a horny idol character with a bubbly personality. Chiaki is highly discombobulated by this information, but he don't get paid to think, he just gotta get the job done. Turns out though, that the chief mixed up the suitcase he was gonna use for freak time with his girl and the business suitcase case that Chiaki needed. But hey, bread is bread. So Chiaki says fuck it and decides to become a bad bitch for the sake of that money. Anyway, the time has finally come for his interview. And since he has no real information to take on this job, bro is stressed. He's up against a panel of 3 judges and has to make all his moves on the fly. The judges can tell how unprepared he is, and one of them is ready to put my mans in an urn. However, one of the judges, the Elephant Man, is much more calm and understanding. Twin tells Chiaki to leave before things get too complicated, but with his family's well-being in his hands, he takes the risk to commit to the bit. He lives by the character sheet he was given. Yeah, fucking shit. He lives by the character sheet he was given and tells a sob story to appeal to the emotion of the judges. Amane Shirasawa, an aspiring idol who's too naive to realize they're being abused and exploited on their journey to the top. Chiaki's playing up this character like his life depends on it because, I mean, it literally fucking does. My man just put on an Oscar-worthy performance. You gotta clap it up. And once he gets to the part of the story where he, she was trained to give massages with her mouth, she finally triggers the Elephant Man's empathy. But to close it out, Chiaki has to lock in. He grabs the Elephant Man's trunk and offers to give him the suck of a lifetime. Chiaki then proceeds to put the whole skadoodle in his mouth and but it turns out the Elephant Man truly is a nice guy. It says that none of that exploitation is required to join the Villain Association. And in an act of pity, 2 out of the 3 judges decide to pass Chiaki through in order to help her change her life for the better. However, the final judge is not going for it. Jelly E. Fish, the leader of the entire association. She says she don't trust this hoe one bit, but she does trust her comrades' decisions and allows the judgment to pass. And with that, he's in. Chiaki is officially a spy, and from here on out, his life will never be the same. Raw Hero is one of the most deranged, unhinged mangas I've ever read in my life. And I've read some freak shit in my lifetime, man. Trust me, don't make me pull up my hentai favorites because I will. Because I fucking will. I think what makes this manga so jarring is the fact that there are genuine high quality moments sprinkled around the story that are mixed in with some of the most garbage, degenerate, illegal moments that just make you have a whirlwind of emotions that's constantly changing panel to panel. Raw Hero goes from high intensity spy manga with political commentary about how the oppressors make themselves seem like the victim while the oppressed fight back for basic rights. Very fitting for current times. Freedom boys, man, you know how the fuck we rockin'. And then the next chapter, it'll make a joke about our main characters getting essayed for like the 10th time. Raw Hero is such a mixed bag with loads of potential, but overall, the lows are so low that it drags this manga down significantly. However, when you consider the meta aspect of Raw Hero and the way that it tells the story of Hiramoto's own life, the manga begins to take on a completely different feel. But before I talk shit, let's go over the one thing that you cannot deny is peak about this manga, and that is the art. The art in Raw Hero is amazing. Coming from the author of Prison School, this is no surprise, but a style that's still so unique, you can't help but be in awe of some of these panels. His art style is so surreal and somewhat realistic, but still maintains the fun aspects of anime manga style through the expressions and exaggeration. The expressions might just be one of the most fun parts of Hiramoto's style, high-key. They tell you such a specific emotion every time, and this wide range of expressions is greatly appreciated in this manga because they are the only thing that makes sense among these volumes of pure nonsense. One moment there's a fierce battle with fire-ass fight choreography and combat faces, then that same battle ends with an Aiko after a nigga gets shocked with 20,000 volts. Shit is funny as hell because it feels like even the author doesn't know what's going on. However, this is an Akira Hiramoto work, so we must discuss the fan service. It's honestly such a blessing that this man draws ecchi, bro. I need a dojo out of this nigga, bro. I ain't gonna lie. The streets would forever be changed for the better. Prison School was definitely intense with this fan service, but to be honest, I don't even know if you can call it that in Raw Hero. This shit is damn near just hentai, bro. So much so that I can't even begin to try and show you examples. A lot of pages are gonna be reused in this video because there's not many that don't have some freaking going on. You just straight up see Chiaki's dick like 9 times, bro. Mariko's honkers are on full display minus the classic JAV censor because the nipples are what makes it horny, stupid ass. Like, does showing coochie lips count as fan service? Like, what? Where do we draw the line? You feel me? I don't know. But what I do know is a lot of the horny moments of this manga are not good or moral or legal, but yeah, we'll get there in a second. The characters in Raw Hero are all menaces to society, but that's one of the aspects of Hiramoto's writing that makes his outrageous comedy style so engaging. Damn near every character is exaggerated to the point of unbelievability, except for Chiaki. He serves as the straight man in this world of chaos, and while he might seem like a generic manga protag at first, he very quickly develops into the type of character the original him would hate. Chiaki starts off as an honest man just trying to make a living for his family, but the darkness of reality slowly corrupts him to the point that he's always lying to the ones he loves. And this corruption is a common thing amongst the entire cast. Every character is broken, and the society they live in continues to fuel their hatred. Mariko, Chiaki's love interest, is just a woman who wants to become a manga artist, but the broken world is what made her become the leader of the revolution. Mariko is Jellyfish, and Chiaki is acting as a spy to take down the woman he loves the most. Despite their love for each other, they never even had a chance to make it work, because both of them are too far gone. It's fucked up that Raw Hero ended so early, because it really did have so much potential to be great, pulling in multiple genres into one cohesive, well, purposely incoherent story is amazing. The realm of superheroes and powers never gets expanded upon, and it's a shame because it started to set up a perfect moral battleground just begging for development at the end. The heroes are self-centered, degenerate idiots, while the villains are labeled as such simply for trying to fight for their freedom as people born with powers. Regarding Chiaki's espionage, an interesting plot point is Chiaki is forced to go through the pains that many women do, unfortunately. As soon as he becomes a bad bitch, the freaks are released. His co-worker in the Villain Association, Hoshi, is a certified grade A Diamond 1 freakazoid. After Chiaki saved his life via mouth-to-mouth, bro was on straight up oddball timing. That boy Hoshi is a dirtbag of legendary levels, but it all helps to build the tension of the situation whenever Chiaki goes undercover. One of the funniest moments is when Chiaki gets found out as a glizzy wielder. The squad had to go piss, so naturally as a nigga that's been doing this for years, Chiaki hits the urinal without thinking. Welcome to the meat show. Bro just accidentally showed off his shaboing boing. Fuck that nigga Hoshi. But I'll give this sicko his credit. As soon as he found out Chiaki had that glick with a laser on it, he started watching film. He peeped game and locked in. Bro got on the hub and started doing research to unlock the throat goat badge. Now look man, you gotta respect a real hooper, man. My man's was dedicated to the craft. He was dedicated to the suck. Look at all that, man. Damn nigga. The overall plot of Raw Hero is a confusing mess. It's so unhinged that it'll give you the most important world building info in the middle of a scene where the chief is getting pegged. Bro getting his butt stuffed professionally, man. You gotta respect it. Raw Hero is loaded with cool ideas. It has a lot of moments where these said ideas are almost able to outshine all the bullshit that occurs during the worst parts of the story. For example, the spy aspect of this manga is played off very well. Every scene has you on edge because either Cheek is gonna get caught or some random fuck shit is finna go down. In chapter 10, the big boss jellyfish has once again arrived in front of Chiaki. He sneaks off to tell the chief he's in contact with the target and his orders are now to sneak a pic. Trying to sneak a photo of the leader of a villain organization is clearly high stakes, and you feel the fear Chiaki has throughout the entire attempt. He tries to take a video instead since it might be easier, but a camera click goes off. Luckily, it was Hoshi's freak ass sneaking an underskirt of Chiaki. Weird ass nigga. In the next chapter, as the villains are on their way back to the base, they get stopped by the feds, in which the Elephant Man has to lure bro these niggas without causing the scene. And just when it seems like they're in the clear, a hero shows up. Ushima. She's known as the most psychotic hero in Japan. She refuses orders and even fights the cops herself at times, but she gets the job done. Ushima picks this elephant nigga up with one hand on some Batman shit, and you immediately know, oh yeah, they're fucked. Suddenly, Jellyfish comes back into the fray. We get this cool ass fight between two baddies, which ends in that Aigo we were talking about earlier, because she got like electrocuted and shit. Yeah, this manga's weird. This manga's strange. The absolute best thing about Raw Hero's narrative is the overall political drama of the world. It manages to become very compelling despite the goofy nature of the entire universe. Seeing Ushima do one of the captains like Bruce Wayne early on really sets up the drama and makes the goal of the villains, quote unquote, have a very real basis. The heroes are tied in with the politicians, and many of them are just as evil. The final arc is about the heroes' attempt to frame the villains just so they have an excuse to take down any opposing parties. Sadly, this doesn't have enough time to develop in just 41 chapters, but the potential cook-up could have been legendary. As this is coming from the author of Prison School, you would expect comedy to be the strong suit of this manga, and that's like 40% true, and that's like 30% true. Hiramoto's sense of humor is so surreal it's hilarious at times. Like in chapter 35, where the villains are planning a literal terrorist attack. In the middle of the fucking climax, the chief is like, fuck it, I'm finna be a VTuber, nigga. Lil bro trying to get into Niji Sanji bad. I'm Pomu. Ugly. No, you're not, buddy. You're not built for the league, pal. And the whole arc of Hoshi training himself to suck penis is funny as fuck, I'm not gonna lie. Once this nigga mastered the art of gakology, he uses every chance he gets to tell Chiaki or suck him into the next dimension. Raw Hero genuinely has a handful of funny moments, but unfortunately, a large portion of this manga pulls its comedy from, rather distasteful areas. Yikes. Raw Hero is a fucked up fever dream of a manga. Much like Prison School, they both have moments of unparalleled tomfoolery, which is often used as a selling point. Outrageous fan service is what makes Hiramoto's writing so funny at times. However, Raw Hero takes it too fucking far. There's loads of weird and fucked up shit in this manga which make it damn near impossible to recommend. Like in chapter 18, Chiaki's little brother is lonely after one of his friends has to leave, but it turns out they live in the same building as Mariko. So half of this chapter is cute as hell. Real life wholesome shit, bro. It's about Mariko doing all she can to make this little nigga happy. Then all of a sudden, he wants to take a bath. Gulp. I've seen this setup one too many times in my life, and I don't need it again. Shit was high-key unnecessary, but Mariko's fine as hell, so fuck it, I guess. Next chapter, it turns out she only imagined undressing, not in a weird way, so she just put on a swimsuit. But hey, bro, that's like, come on, hey, big dog. There's gotta be a more efficient method of making fan service, bro. There's gotta be a better way. And there's also this weird-ass NTR mini-art between Mariko and her editor. Chiaki got a promotion to his job, and Mariko's manga is set to be published, so the two set up a date to celebrate. But turns out, Mariko has a meeting for her manga on the same day, so she decides to just have Chiaki tag along. The editor doesn't mind, and everything is all cool at first, but after a few drinks, Buddy starts acting odd. He intrudes on her date after the meeting is over, under the guise of giving Mariko some more advice on her manga, but bro is mad touchy, to the point that Chiaki has to step in multiple times. So funny, oh my god, he keeps touching her when she doesn't want to. Dude, that's hilarious. But as the drinking continues, all three of them are sloshed. Chiaki especially is blacked out. So the editor suggests they stop at a hotel, and as Mariko helps Chiaki to the bathroom, she turns around and sees the editor with his fucking Johnson out. He grabs her hand and shit is looking bonkers. We then skip to the next day as Chiaki wakes up, only to see Mariko in shambles. Chiaki assumed the worst, but it turns out Buddy just got too drunk and accidentally pulled his cock and balls out because he likes to get nude at home. Oh my bro, it was a comedic setup, bro. The editor is actually a chill guy who wants to help Mariko make it big. The fuck is wrong with you, nigga? Look at my face, bro. Look at my face. The fuck is wrong with you, nigga? I do not find implied essay humorous in any fashion. Your ass was not cooking up during this chapter. On God. Unfortunately, Essay is a big gag of this manga. The worst offense being with the character Mihono. She's a member of this universe's version of the Power Rangers, but she's not at all heroic. She's a sex offender. Like bad. It's really bad, dude. It's fucked up. It's bad. She ends up becoming neighbors with Chiaki, and as she's going to introduce herself, it just so happened to be on a day where he forgot to take the cosplay off. Chiaki screams since he doesn't want to be seen by his bros like this. In the startle, Mihono falls down the stairs from the shock of Chiaki's yelp. Yeah, the fucking Power Ranger fell down the stairs. Okay. Oh. Look, forget about that for now. She falls down on top of Chiaki in the classic manga fashion, and the two end up in the 69 position, and thus, Chiaki's cock is revealed. As the two get up, one of Chiaki's brothers is about to walk into the apartment, so Mihono hides them in her room. Mihono is a cosplayer on the side, so she gives bro a suit to go home in, and after getting his number, the harassment begins. She threatens to expose his cross-dressing to his brothers if he doesn't date her, and it's like, my nigga, you're ruining it! Like, we are way past the love triangle bullshit at this point, bro. My nigga Chiaki literally proposed to Mariko the chapter before Mihono's introduced, but alas, it continues. She sexually harasses Chiaki for the rest of the manga. Like literally the rest of the manga, that's all she does. She drugs him, purposely tries to split him up from Mariko, forcefully sits on his face. Like nigga. And 90% of the time, it's just played off as comedy. Like, oh my god, LOL, this girl keeps touching me inappropriately. LMAO, she made the main character cry because he feels violated. No, nigga, stop. This is what we in the industry like to refer to as ass. Doo-doo buns even. The absolute most interesting thing about Raw Hero is its ending. On a surface level, it fucking sucks. But on a meta level, it might just be a masterpiece. But before we get there, let me lay the groundwork for you. So amidst all the love triangle bullshit, Mariko and Mihono both show up to Chiaki's crib in an effort to shoot their shot, until Mihono essays this nigga again and kisses him. Mariko, being the shy, not confrontational type, leaves immediately, but she forgot her bag. So Chiaki tries to explain the situation and chase her down, and also give her bag back. But Mihono chokes this nigga out, drugs him, dresses him up like a woman, and tries to essay my mans again. Nigga! Ew! Yucky! Mr. Hirimoto, you gotta get a new bit, my guy. This one's not hidden. In an attempt to defend himself, Chiaki goes through Mariko's bag and finds a weapon we've seen before, the taser whip from Jellyfish. It turns out that Mariko is the big bad that Chiaki's been chasing this whole time. And it's a cool idea to have the main character chase his love interest in two ways unknowingly. So anyway, since it's dark, Mihono can't see and confuses Chiaki's meat with the taser whip, and then receives 5,000 volts to the bachunch. Despite the bullshit, the story was at a genuinely interesting spot right here. Chiaki's love interest is revealed to be the villain, and that same love interest is close to the truth that the disguised Chiaki might just be the spy who infiltrated the ranks. So instead of continuing the star-crossed lovers arc and continuing to match peak story with his excellent art, what does the author do? He makes Mariko catch Chiaki getting groped by Mihono not once, but twice in back-to-back chapters. So yeah, the relationship that was built up for the whole story, let's just kill it with some more essay as a joke moments. The people will love that. So the final arc of the manga is about the villain organization planning a fake bomb this news building due to slander. Chiaki is under suspicion as a spy, but they haven't made their move yet. This manga is the king of great setup and dog shit payoff. It's a shame, bro, because there's so many cool sections that just get fucked on. Raw! As Chiaki is sneaking in to plant the bomb, they notice the building has already been evacuated. So while trying to see what's going on, he takes the elevator to get some intel, but that's when they run into Ushima once again, the deranged hero who's looked down on by the hero organization even more so now for being way too brutal. And even though Chiaki and Hoshi are trying to play it cool, they're fucked. Ushima already knows what they're planning because Chiaki was the one who told them, but the chief is the only one who knows Chiaki is a spy. So here he is, about to be murdered by a hero because he basically snitched on himself. This moment is so fire, bro, and the artwork along with the framing of it has such tangible tension that you could just feel the fear that Chiaki and this freak nigga are under, bro. Especially versus the overconfident ego Ushima has, it's crazy. The two of them are able to bluff their way out of the confrontation with the bomb threat, but Ushima would not be letting this slide. And we then find out that the bomb they have was just supposed to be an ink bomb, and the rocket launcher the other team is shooting is just paint. So the villains have no tangible power, while the heroes are out for blood. After spending some time to defuse the situation, Ushima comes back into the building to get revenge. She is once again terrifying, even more so this time because they make her essay Chiaki as well. Ushima is choking the life out of Chiaki, and to try and save his own life, he admits that he's a spy, which Ushima of course sees as a lie at first, until Korida, one of the leaders of the villain organization, who is also one of the judges at Chiaki's original interview, comes forward to vouch for him. Korida was also a spy all along. This was a dope ass bait switch because we were led to believe that Chiaki was found out, but it was actually her the whole time. Fast forward to the final chapter, and the hero organization has successfully framed the villains. They switched out the fake bomb for a real one in order to pin it all on Jellyfish, aka Mariko. And out of nowhere, SWAT pulls up on Mariko after the explosion and arrests her on the spot. As she's being taken away, Chiaki sees her for the final time. The reveal we've literally waited the whole manga for has finally come. Chiaki tells Mariko that he was a spy all along. Mariko, after being betrayed time and time again, finally snaps. Chiaki decides that now is the only time he'll get to propose, but he gets no response. All he gets is the pained look of betrayal on the woman he loved the most. We get a time skip that goes a few months forward, which tells us that Mariko is still locked up in a waiting trial, but Chiaki is planning to propose again. The end. Yep. That's it. Chiaki's family is safe. He still works for the feds, and yeah, that's really it. That's about it. I mean, I wasn't expecting a wholesome ending from this wild ass manga, but oh my god, this ending was boo-boo! An infinite amount of loose ends are left over, bro. What happened to the SA Power Rangers? I don't know. Mariko was a superpowered maniac, but she just let the feds walk her down? Okay. Oh, okay, sure. Whatever you say, bud. The plot twist at the end regarding the hero's setup could have been very interesting. Unfortunately, the manga had to end prematurely. Allegedly. It seems that the series got canceled, and because of that, to many people, the ending is, for lack of better words, questionable for many reasons. However, when you take a second to look at the story as a whole with the meta in mind, it wields a completely different tone. Akira Hiramoto is a very interesting mangaka, and one of the most intriguing things about him is that his magnum opus, his true masterpiece, has been overshadowed for years in exchange for titties and ass. Me and the Devil's Blues is a story covering the life of the famous blues musician Robert Johnson, who many consider the most important artist in the genre. He died at 27 in 1937, so due to the time period and the fact that he only has about 2 recording sessions, most of his life is a thing of legend. And one of those legends is that Johnson sold his soul to the devil in exchange for musical talent. Sadly, Hiramoto's extremely well-researched fantasy biography about one of the most influential musicians of all time never reached the heights of his contemporaries. If you thought Raw Hero in Prison School looked fire, this manga's art is that turned up to 11. Not only did he research black culture and truly make effort to show and respect that with the designs, but the artwork, ideas, and horror aspect of this manga are otherworldly. Despite being released in 2003, this is arguably Hiramoto at his best, but it never got popular, and here I am, years later. Instead of talking about his masterpiece, I'm talking about that one time he drew boy pussy. Many believe that the reason his current writing style is so off the wall is in retaliation to his greatest work never taken off. And many believe that the reason for his quote-unquote bad endings nowadays is his way of taking revenge on all the degenerates who would rather read about him drawing boobs and dudes getting peed on, as opposed to reading his in-depth research character study on one of the most mysterious musicians who ever lived. Now, of course, a lot of this is conjecture, but in relation to Raw Hero, the puzzle pieces begin to align. Chiaki and Mariko represent the two sides of Hiramoto. Chiaki begins the story as a hardworking man who would die by his morals, but eventually begins to fall into corruption for the sake of money and feeding his family. Much like Hiramoto himself had to give up Me and the Devil's Blues for series that would make him much more money. However, Mariko, throughout the entire story, stands on her morals and never compromises. But this commitment leads her to crash and burn, and she spends the next however many years of her life in prison. When you take this meta into consideration, everything changes. Chiaki and Mariko were never going to be together. They serve as complete opposites, not in the opposites attract type of way, but their morals are in completely different fields thematically. With this new mindset, the final scene between Chiaki and Mariko is much more profound than I originally believed. After months of betraying his moral compass, Chiaki tries to come back to Earth and tell Mariko he was lying to her, and his proposal is a means of reconciling his departure from the path of good. Mariko, being a representative of sticking to your morals, standing on business as many would say, completely denies this proposal as a way to say that Chiaki is too far gone. The chief, aka one of the most degenerate characters in the manga, tells Chiaki that he did the right thing, to which Chiaki responds, "I am no hero. A real hero is so much more." Once again, this is a completely conjecture, full-blown theory crafted. I might just be in my English teacher bag. Give me a 20-page essay on why the author made the curtain blue type shit. But I don't know, man. I still haven't read The Devil's Blues, but for what I've seen, it's clear that Hiramoto is a master of the craft. He's not just the guy who wrote that one horny manga with the hot milf. Hiramoto knows hoops, man. He knows ball. He knows balls, man. So I think it's fair to believe that he's capable of something like this. And you also have to consider, while Raw Hero is widely believed to have been canceled, the first page of the manga starts in medias res, with the bombing that took place in the final chapter. So while the manga might not have ended as planned. This was at least somewhat the route he was thinking of going down. But I don't know, maybe I'm just yapping, bro. I'm saying, let me know what y'all think. But yeah, Raw Hero is a fucking doozy. Even considering the meta aspect, that does not make this manga perfect, but it does make it even more interesting and bizarre than it already was. I still don't know how I feel about it overall, I can't lie. It's filled with high highs and drowns in the lowest of lows. But I can say I was thoroughly entertained for a majority of the roller coaster. Hiromoto is still drawing yitties in the current day, with Futari Switch in his upcoming manga with the Blue Lock writer, Super Ball Girls. But Me and the Devil's Blues is not over as far as I know, and still receives a new chapter from time to time. So hopefully my guys found a balance he's comfortable with. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the vid. I apologize for taking so long again. I literally planned for this to be a short video, a little in-betweener, because my next video is gonna be even longer. But alas, it seems short vids are out of the question for me, bro. I just can't shut the fuck up. But yeah, in between these long periods for videos, I do a whole lot of streaming, some of which takes place on this channel. So turn on that noti bell if you want to tap in. I also stream on Twitch at space_man777_. But if I'm not streaming, check me out on Twitter and the TikTok ski. But thanks for all the love, man. I appreciate y'all truly, and I hope you have a blessed day. Deuces.